everybody, and welcome on tonight's webinar, TradingView and Oanda Power Up Your Trading Strategy. With me, there is a Steph at TradingView and Steph is a head of education in TradingView. Hello, Steph.
Hey, Chris, great to be here and very pleased to be connected with everyone at Oanda. And I look forward to doing nothing but great education for traders, investors, anyone interested in markets who may find themselves on TradingView.
And of course, that is our tonight's plan. And before we will start, I would like every person that is here, check out the disclaimer about today's webinar. And please be aware about the risk of trading. And I think that we can start right now telling about the TradingView. Steph, could you say in a couple of words, maybe a couple sentences, why people should use TradingView? What is a TradingView and how they can simply create an account?
Absolutely. And is it okay if I share my screen at this point in time?
Of course.
Great. So I'm going to share my screen because in my view, this is going to be the best way to demonstrate not only what's possible with TradingView, but what you get when you connect your accounts, create an account, and get started on the platform. Now, from what I know, many people around the globe are quite familiar with the super charts on TradingView. I'm just going to go ahead and click super charts here. And you've probably seen these wonderful charts around the web at some point in time. But what I really want to make sure I demonstrate before I even get to the super charts is all of the data, information, and news you have when you are connected to TradingView, which I think really answers your question about, why should people use TradingView or what is it? And it's a platform for everything that's going on in markets. Now, I understand many of the viewers may be trading FX, potentially futures or indexes. And so before we get to the super charts, I think it's quite important to know that when you're on tradingview.com, you have a lot of information right here accessible with just a click or two away. And this includes all asset classes from indices to stocks to crypto to futures, Forex, and bonds. And if you're on the homepage, I really would encourage everyone to scroll down. I think a lot of people go right to the super charts, forgetting just how much information is here as you move your way down the homepage, including stocks that are breaking out to all-time highs, the biggest gainers in Forex markets and equity markets, news about all of these different industries, crypto trends and insights. And there is even a social network where you can actually see what other people are charting and writing about. And you can go in and click to read the comments, give them a boost, potentially even follow that specific trader to stay informed about all of their latest ideas. In addition, before I get to the super charts, I also just want to make sure that you know about these features up here at the top, especially the markets tab. I love the markets tab because if you are sort of just trying to find your way into markets, you're trying to get started, this is a really nice place to really get your feet wet before you dive in and place your first trade. For example, in this instance, let's just say it's Forex. We can hover our mouse here at Forex and check out all of the data we have, as well as organized by either region of the world or specific Forex pairs. I can also just click Forex and I land on this Forex dedicated page. Really a wonderful way just to get a feel for what's moving. What are people talking about? What are the long-term charts and recent news articles saying about all of these different Forex pairs? That way you don't just dive right into a chart, performing technical analysis, you're looking for the latest trade, you're actually just getting set up. So there's all of this information and news here that I once again would encourage you all to really explore as you get started on TradingView. In addition, underneath the products tab where you see super charts, there are some individual tools that I really think a lot of people are potentially not using, but could get a ton of value out of. For example, I think we all know how much news drives markets, right? Well, you can create a fully custom news flow specifically for the trading style or strategy or asset class that you're interested in. And you can add these specific filters to it as needed. So I'm going to go ahead and click Forex. Let's do stocks. Let's even do futures and government bonds and economy. So I have immediately created an all-encompassing news flow right here with a few filters that I can watch in real time as news breaks. Now I'm staying informed about what's going on in the world. So this is an example of the products that you should really explore and make sure that you know if you have an account or if your account's connected to something like Oanda, you get access to all of this, not just the super charts. So now I'm going to click super charts because now I think it's time to transition. I know that people love charting. It is the best way to visualize price over time and price action over time. And before I get into the super charts, I do just want to remind everyone at TradingView, I am helping with trader and platform education. So it is quite literally my goal to spend all of my time making sure people know all of the capabilities of TradingView. Because if you make a TradingView account or get connected to TradingView, you have access to all these features and capabilities that it would just be a shame if you didn't know about them or take advantage of them. So I want to make sure that you see everything that's possible and that I also answer some specific questions for you if you have them. Now, when you get to the chart, I think there's one thing that everyone should know, and that is the search box. Now, if you're already experienced with TradingView, you're probably saying, Steph, come on, the search box? Of course I know what the search box is. But I'm going to tell you, the search box has some really wonderful features that some people have actually potentially not even fully explored yet. So naturally, you can type in the asset class or symbol or anything that you're looking to research right into the search box. Think of it like Google search. You can either type in the literal ticker symbol, USDJPY, or you can type in keywords and you're going to get keywords related to what you're typing in. Now, that's important for me to say because what I have found is that people forget about these filters that you can add to the search box to help you narrow down what it is you're looking for. But also what's very critical about this is that you also have the ability to be reminded about all of this data. So again, Forex, that might be what you're interested in, but go deeper. You can click all sources, and then you can click the specific data provider that matters to you. Now we're doing this video with Oanda. Look at this. We've got this Oanda selection right here. Let's click Oanda. Now what we've done is we've told the search box, which is pulling in data from all over the world, symbols from different exchanges and data providers, to only show us the Oanda symbols. And now check this out. We have this beautiful list of all of the Oanda symbols available to us in the world of Forex. And of course, you can go deeper. We go to the economic world and we could chart economic events as well. So the symbol search is really a powerful tool. And it gets so powerful because don't forget, it is also a calculator of sorts. So you can see here, I've got these equations or these mathematical operators up here. I could do, for example, USD JPY divided by BTC USD. And now I'm charting the ratio of USD JPY to BTC USD. You could do this for anything that you wish. I don't know if it would be something you'd want to do, but if you even want to do USD JPY and Apple, you could do just that as well, a ratio of the yen to Apple. So the symbol search box, I wanted to make sure I showed this and gave it enough time because I think it really does demonstrate all of the data coming through. And essentially, when you open up the search box, you're walking through a door. And when you go through that door, all of this data and information you now have access to. Make a click and the chart is here waiting for you just like this. Now, it's important to know that when you have your chart up and running, you can move your chart around really easily. This is something, again, look, I know for the TradingView experts out there, this is pretty simple, but if you click and hold your mouse, you can drag backward, you can pull it forward. If your mouse has a wheel on it, you can zoom out, you can zoom in. And these two features just allow you to navigate charts really quickly. Now, on that note, it's important to keep in mind of all the different time frames and customizations you have. I'm looking at the Euro USD here. I'm on a daily chart. I'm actually using volume candles as well. That means that every candle you see here represents a full day of trading. But if I wish, I could zoom in a bit more. Maybe I want to see candles by the minute. I'm day trading. I'm watching every tick, every trade really closely. Now every trade represents a minute. So you're going to see this really granular activity. But it is important to know that you're pretty zoomed in now. And sometimes that also can be a really hard event to trade because you don't have a longer term time horizon in mind. But nevertheless, you see here, we've got this minute chart. We can even correspond that with the time down here at the bottom. We can still manipulate our chart as needed by zooming in or out or adjusting the time down here at the bottom as well. And also, what's pretty important to know about this is that once you find your specific time horizon that you wish to chart and look at, now you have all of these drawing tools that you can layer on top of this specific chart. So, what does that mean? Let's say you're thinking about a possible trade. Maybe very short term, you're thinking there's some sort of selling event going on here. There seems to have been, it hit here, it sold off. It hit here, it sold off. It hit here, it sold off. It did it 3 straight times just in this session. And now we're back down again. If you think then maybe there's some sort of short-term range to play here, you can model all that out right here with your drawing tools. And it's pretty interesting. Look at this. We got that nice green candle there. Maybe someone else out there is watching it. And what you can do here is essentially provide all of the drawing capabilities you need to make the best decision. So to walk you through the different tools here is you have your trend line tools, you have your Gann and Fibonacci tools, you have your pattern tools, you have your forecasting and measurement tools, you have your geometric shapes, your annotation tools, icons. And as you go down, you'll find what I like to call are essentially these little jetpack items for your drawing tools. Meaning, let's say you click brush, now you can make the brush magnet mode. So you're sort of layering on magnet mode with brush. Or you can lock your drawing tools, or you can even create syncing features with your drawing tools. I don't want to go too deep into these sort of power adds into your drawing tool, but I want to make sure that you at least can see that. Now, one thing about drawing tools to know as well is they give you the ability to visualize your trades before you ever make them, or to do the research before you ever make them. So for example, if you go up here to your forecasting and measurement tools, you have the capability to do a ton of analysis before ever risking any money. For example, we can see here if we really wanted to, maybe if we think there's going to be some sort of return back to this level, we could click here, move our mouse up. And just by doing that, utilizing this price range tool, we now have a good feel for just how high that has to go. In addition, what we could also do with these tools available to us is we could actually set up the trade on our chart to see if it's actually even worth taking. So we have a long position tool and a short position tool. If I click the long position tool, and let's say I'm just thinking about a specific entry, click, and now you can visualize the trade beautifully right here on the chart in front of you. Let's put our take profit up here. Let's put our stop loss, maybe, let's say if it breaks this candle from here, we'll have our stop loss, if it goes below that candle. And the whole point, though, of this exercise is you're doing the research, you're visualizing your trading, you're not risking any actual money, you're going through all of the data points. So you're actually really slowing yourself down a little bit. There's no impulsive trading going on. There's no lack of research going on. You're actually writing everything out. You're mapping out the entire process. All with these drawing tools, you're visualizing everything right here before your eyes before you make any decision. So it's a really nice way to get a feel for what you may want to do and how that actually looks. And actually, you can even see on this chart here, like, does this look like a realistic move? You have to ask yourself that. I don't know the answer to that, but it's worth considering. Is this even realistic? And if it's not, then you can slow yourself down a little bit, get back to the drawing board. So those are the drawing tools. And actually, before I move on from the drawing tools, very important for me to remind you that every single drawing tool can be fully customized, color, look, and feel. So for example, this trend line here, I can double click on this trend line and I open up the settings menu for this drawing tool. Now, you should know that what I'm doing just for this trend line applies to all of the drawing tools here. So never be afraid to double click on a trend line or to right click on a trend line. For example, you can extend the line to the left, extend the line to the right. You can change the color to fit your specific look and feel as needed. You can see the line changing colors here right before our eyes. You can also add text to these lines. So if you were, say, watching these levels, well, you could have that text now, so you just simply cannot miss it. But the point is, when you draw on the chart, you can do anything with those drawing tools, from its look, its feel, its color, its design. And what I mean by design is maybe you prefer a different look and feel. So what we can do here is we could do a dotted line. Now, I know that may sound not that significant, but you'd be surprised. Every trader out there is different. Every investor out there is different. There's no one size fits all process. So you want to make sure that you know you have the tools you need to create a fully customized look and feel, design, and sort of chart that you are happy to look at.